Are we live? Are we live? I think we're live. What's up, my friends? Abby here, and welcome to the 5th anniversary celebration of 100 Days of Sunlight. My debut book baby, the first book that I ever published. I'm so thrilled that you guys are here for this live stream. I just realized this last weekend that this was the special anniversary, the 5th year anniversary, and I was like, I have to do something special for this. I can't just like post a regular video. I wanted to do something really special. So that's why we're here today, to celebrate 100 Days of Sunlight. There's going to be some fun things that are going to happen on this live stream. First and foremost, I'm going to sort of share with you a bit about my publishing journey with this book and the series that it has turned into. And I'm going to answer your indie pub questions and any questions that you have about 100 Days of Sunlight in general, or anything about my publishing journey in general. So I'll be looking out in the chat for that on Instagram and on YouTube. So feel free to ask me questions throughout this live stream. And throughout this live stream, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So I'm going to give away one copy, this copy here that I'm holding, hardcover copy of 100 Days of Sunlight. I'm going to sign it and personalize it for a lucky winner on the live stream today. So stick around if you are, and this is a United States giveaway, by the way. Somebody asked that earlier in the chat. Yes, it is only shipping within the US. So if you're in the US, you qualify to be part of this giveaway. And I'm really excited for that. So welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. There's so many people hopping on YouTube. Awesome. We have 286 people on YouTube and 67 people on Instagram. So I'm so glad you guys are here. And also, the last really exciting thing that's going to happen in this live stream is I'm going to make a big announcement, as you saw in the title this video. Yes, I have an exciting announcement to make, and it has to do with 100 Days of Sunlight. So stay tuned for that. But first, we're going to sort of just at a glance look, and then, sorry, I have no structure whatsoever today. I might also share with you guys a little ukulele song that I wrote about 100 Days of Sunlight. It's not really so much about 100 Days of Sunlight as much as it's like inspired by it. So it kind of like, it reminds me of like Tessa and Weston. And I actually wrote this song like a couple years ago, and I never shared it because I didn't really ever record it. And I didn't know like what format to share it in. So yeah, I stick around to the end because I will probably close off by playing you that song if you guys want to hear it. So I'm going to set that aside for now. But I just figured, you know, we need a ukulele in the picture for today's celebration. Okay, so it's so good to see all of you guys here. Hannah sent a super chat. Thank you so much, Hannah. Sending my love to Tessa and Weston always. Happy anniversary to 100 Days, the book that truly changed my love for reading and writing. Oh my goodness, that means so much to me. Thank you so much. And another super chat came in earlier from Chewan. Happy 5 years to 100 Days. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. So before we begin, a lot of you guys are already guessing what the what the announcement is going to be, and some of you may have already guessed correctly, but stay tuned. So I was just watching the video that I put out 5 years ago on this day, and you can actually still find it on my channel if you go to my channel and you type in 100 Days of Sunlight. It's the video that's like, my book is out, and I look so much younger in that video. It's really shocking how 5 years has like aged me. But I think the past 5 years has aged us all, honestly. But that aside, 5 years ago, in the spring of 2017, I first got the idea for this book. It came to me like a flash out of the blue, a bolt from the blue. And it was just a premise, a basic premise. Blind girl meets an amputee guy, and she doesn't know about his disability. He helps her out somehow in her darkest days. And that was it. And I was like, oh, I love that. I love that so much. And I immediately wanted to explore this premise. So I spent the summer plotting it, outlining it. I wanted to write it right away, but I decided to plot it and outline it first because that really helps me to figure out my ideas. and make sure that the story itself is very solid before I actually commit to writing it. So in November of 2017, it was NaNoWriMo, and it was my fastest, most successful NaNoWriMo that I ever had. To this day, the fastest I've ever written a book. I wrote 100 Days of Sunlight in 27 days, which still blows my mind. I don't even know how I did it. Some nights I was staying up till 2 in the morning writing. That's how carried away I was with this idea. And I think that's when you know a story really like has your heart, is when you're like staying up until the wee hours writing it and you just can't stop thinking about it, and you're like awake at night plotting out scenes in your mind. Like, you know, a book is going to have your whole heart when you experience that. So that was my green light, basically, that I'm like, this is the first book I need to publish. And I had written several novels, and I still have some that I have written prior to this that I want to eventually publish. But I knew this was going to be the first one because I'm like, this just has so much of my heart and soul in it. And I want my first step in the publishing world to be something that really represents the feeling I want to give people with my work. So I want you to feel hopeful, but I also want you to maybe experience a little bit of sadness, some laughter, some tears, some happy tears, some sad tears. And ultimately, like, I just want my books to feel like a warm hug. I just want them to feel like those military homecoming compilation videos on YouTube that are called like "Try Not to Cry," you know, or the ones where like the dog sees the owner who came home from the military. Oh my god, like they always make me cry, and you can tell me in the chat if they make you cry. But like it's like the good kind of sadness, you know, it's like bittersweet. That's how I want all my books to feel. So that's how this book felt as I was writing it. And I wrote it in 27 days, and then I let it sit for a couple of years while I edited it and worked on it. And then I published it in 2019, August 7th, the day that goes down in history. Let's see. I thought I saw a question go by about publishing in the chat. Let me see if I can find it again. A lot of people are asking if it's going to be a new book. 100 Days of Sunlight film. Okay, I will tell you right away that it is not a movie, although I hope to someday make that announcement. Like, I would be my life would be complete if there was a 100 Days of Sunlight movie. And if anybody's watching this right now wants to make it into a movie and has the and wants to see it as a movie rather, and knows how to make that happen, then email me. But no, I'm writing the screenplay right now, and I am really looking forward to the day when it will be turned into a movie. I would love to be the director, but that's, of course, the ultimate dream. I know, not a movie yet, but it's gonna happen. It's going to happen one day. I am absolutely sure of that. Our Aurora Rose said, "You have helped and given so many people the drive to fulfill their dreams to be a writer. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aurora Rose. That means so much to me. I'm so glad, and it really makes me so happy to see that in all of these comments." I would kill for a 100 Days movie. Yes, I know. Me too. Me too. But that is still to come. So after I published this book, I was so thrilled with the response it received, and I was just so bowled over and grateful to all of you for loving it, for inviting it into your bookshelves and enjoying it. And to this day, when I see an Instagram post or anybody tag me in a post and they are talking about how much they love this book, it just makes my heart so full of gratitude and love. And I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to see that. So keep sharing it and keep posting about it, because it makes me so happy when you guys tag me in it or hashtag it 100 Days of Sunlight. I always see those posts and they just brighten my day. Let's see. I would love to read the book. Is it available on Amazon? Yes, all my books are available on Amazon. You can look it up on Amazon. I wish I had included the link in the description, but I forgot to do that before we went live. But if you go to Amazon and look up 100 Days of Sunlight, it will pop up immediately. And if you want me to read this book to you, you can get the audiobook. And actually, I read the audiobooks for both 100 Days of Sunlight books, The Best Christmas Ever, which is the sequel. And this sequel is something that I did not see coming. I finished writing 100 Days of Sunlight. I launched it, and then I fell so deeply in love with the characters that I was like, can I say goodbye to them really? Can I just like can I say goodbye to them and never write them again? I could not do that. I didn't want to do that. So I started having ideas for a Christmas story, and I wanted it to be like really cozy like the first book, but still have good conflict in it and explore some good internal conflict that I hadn't yet explored. Um and and so I started to develop these ideas for a short story. I thought it was going to be. I know. Whenever I talk about a short story, you can almost guarantee that it's going to turn into a full length novel. So I started brainstorming this story some more and decided to make it a full length book. And that's this book that I'm holding right here in my hands. And this came out in 2021, I believe. Yes, 2021. They're 2 years apart in the books. In December, and this was a whirlwind journey also to write and publish, because I published it within, I talked about it in like 30 days from the actual publishing date. So it was crazy. It was such a whirlwind of a publishing experience, late nights, early mornings, losing sleep, but it was so worth it because I am very happy with how this book came out. And it's more than just a Christmas story. It is not just like one of those cheesy Hallmark movies. It does have like kind of the cozy, comforting vibe of a Hallmark movie, but with all good internal conflict and none of the overused cliches and cheesiness. So it has some really good internal conflict for both the characters. I won't give away any spoilers in case you haven't read 100 Days of Sunlight. But of course, they're together in this book and kind of dealing with the conflicts that come with the early days of being in a relationship, and personal conflicts as well in their own families as well. So yeah, lots of family angst, but also good cozy moments in this book with puppies and fires and cookies and caroling, just all the yummy Christmas vibes. So if you need a little taste of Christmas in August, I highly recommend reading it right now, actually. Because who says Christmas books are just for Christmas? They're not. They're definitely not. Okay, so sorry, I'm kind of ignoring the chat here. I have to see if there were any questions that came by. Are the audiobooks on Spotify? Yes, they are. Adelaide asked that question. And yes, all my audiobooks are on Spotify. My newest book, The Other World, which is not related to 100 Days of Sunlight, is also on Spotify. So you can get the audiobooks through there or through Audible or other platforms like that. Hannah said, having the writer do the audiobook is the most brilliant idea. I love how Abby imagines the characters to sound. It just makes sense. Yeah, it was such a gift to be able to perform the audiobook myself. I really enjoyed doing that. And it gave me sort of a new skill set of being able to do voice acting, which was something that I never really saw myself doing before. And then when I started doing the audiobooks, I'm like, this is more than just reading. This is not just reading a book. This is like a performance. And you really do have to, anybody who does audiobook narration who's watching this right now, or voice acting, you know how much energy it takes to voice act. I mean, there were moments where I was crying, like, because my characters were crying. And so I was just like sitting there in my closet with a microphone and my book, tears pouring out of my eyes as I performed this scene. And it was really an emotional journey for me to sort of be able to experience the book in a whole new way. Because when you're writing it, of course, you're seeing all that action and all that emotion happening in your head, but actually performing it brings a whole new layer of like emotional depth to it. Christina asked a publishing question. What indie publishing company do you use? Or did you use Kindle Direct Publishing? Would you recommend KDP, or how is it different from indie publishing? Okay, so indie publishing can consist of publishing through KDP, and I did use KDP to publish the ebooks of 100 Days of Sunlight and The Best Christmas Ever. For the print books, however, I decided to use Ingram Spark. So Ingram Spark is my distributor, my printer for all my paperbacks and hardcover books. And also for the other world, I decided to produce the ebook through them as well, because it was just easier and more streamlined to get it on all the platforms with one click through Ingram Spark. So I do highly recommend Ingram Spark. I love their quality. They're adding a lot more preferences now for customization of how your book looks, how it's printed, the formatting. So it's been really good to be able to work with Ingram Spark to have pre-orders on print books is one thing that's really important, and hardcover books, and also to be able to make custom versions of your books. If you want to do like a special edition, then you can just make a custom run of a certain quantity of books and sell them on your own website if you want to. So I've really enjoyed working with Ingram Spark, and I recommend using Ingram Spark for the print side of things and even the ebook side of things too. But you can go through Kindle Direct Publishing if you want to explore something like, for example, working with Kindle Unlimited, which I have not worked with, but that's something that you would want to go through Kindle Direct Publishing to do. Okay, let's see. Blue Jay said, "You have transformed my writing in just a year. I am now 90 pages into my novel, and you've helped me so much. Same thing with 100 Days of Sunlight in my most vivid reading experience. One of my most vivid reading experiences." Thank you so much. That means so much to me. I'm so glad you loved 100 Days of Sunlight. Let's see. I thought I saw a comment go by on Instagram too. Maxwell Reinhardt asked you. You mentioned one day directing a film from your novel. Is being a filmmaker something you aspire to do? Yes, it is. It is one of those long-term aspirations for me. When I think about what I want to do in the future, filmmaking is always there, and adapting my books into films and also TV series is something that I constantly dream of. So yeah, I am visualizing that and on a path to eventually get there. For now, I'm spending a lot of time with writing and publishing and producing content, obviously for YouTube. But yeah, that's the long-term dream, is to be a filmmaker as well as a writer. And someday I'm going to get there. It's going to be fun. And I think the film industry, just like the publishing industry, is changing so much and so rapidly. The gatekeepers are gone. They're still there if you look for them, but there are new doors and new opportunities opening up for independent artists, independent filmmakers, independent authors, and it is such an exciting time to be alive if you are doing any sort of independent art in general. Jessica asked, "Congratulations on 5 years. What is your biggest piece of advice for indie publishing? I'm publishing my debut this year and would love any advice you have." That's a great question. My number one biggest piece of advice, is kind of a broad piece of advice, but it applies to so many things, is to be your number one biggest fan. And if you can be your number one biggest fan, that is going to carry you through so much of the tedious parts of the process. Not only is it going to inspire you as you do the technical things like the formatting and the book design itself and all those annoying back and forth adjustments with the printer, but it's also going to up your marketing game so much, because the thing is this: people are inspired by enthusiasm. They're inspired by your enthusiasm, and they respond to that. It's contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious. If you are genuinely excited about your story and you're sharing it with people for the first time and you're like, "I'm so thrilled that I'm finally sharing this," and you just let that genuine excitement flow out of you and shine out of you, you will be amazed by the response you receive from that. People are going to catch that enthusiasm, and they're going to then be enthusiastic about your book, right? Because they have felt that energy on you. So that would be my number one piece of advice. I know it sounds kind of abstract because it's not like a technical thing, but it will carry you through so many technical parts of the process, because if you can be your number one biggest fan, then you'll find that you inspire other people to be fans of your work too. And of course you are, you already are your number one biggest fan because you spent so much time writing this book, right? Like nobody's going to spend as much time with it as you have. So you already are. You don't even have to fake it. You do love this book. So just let that love shine, and other people will catch that enthusiasm. Let's see. Oh, sorry, my chat just like reloaded itself. So I may have missed any questions that came by previously. You guys make me so happy with your comments. I'm so glad that this book has changed your lives in a positive way and that my channel has inspired you. That means so much to me. Sierra says, just wanted to tell you that I just finished reading 100 Days of Sunlight yesterday and I loved it so much. Thank you. Adelaide says, thank you so much, Abby. I've always wanted to be a writer, but I've tried writing books. It's been hard, but your videos have always helped me. I'm so glad. Let's see. Sorry, some of these comments are repeating themselves because my chat is trying to reload, I think. Everyone wants to know the big announcement. I know, we're going to get to that soon. But before we get to the announcement, before I answer any more questions, I also wanted to mention that something else really exciting happened recently. You might see it over my shoulder here. And you might already know about it because I posted about it a little while ago on my Instagram and YouTube, that my book 100 Days of Sunlight has been translated this past year into Polish. So this was something that came out of left field for me. I was not expecting this, and I'm so happy and blessed that it did happen. But a Polish publisher approached me and wanted to translate my book in Poland. And I was so excited about that because I had dabbled in the idea of translations before. But when I tried to do it myself and I tried to work with a translator, it was so unfeasible for me and just really difficult to have to spin all those plates and then to even handle the aspect of printing and publishing and formatting and distribution in another country was just like so overwhelming to me that I'm really, really grateful that I got to work with a traditional publisher on this deal. And of course, there are some aesthetic bonuses to that too, and the benefits are in the actual book design itself. It has this gorgeous sprayed edge with the butterfly design, which I'm obsessed with. And even though it's a paperback, it has like these beautiful inside leaves. I love this book. I wish this was in English so that I could just like read this book in this format, in this beautiful design. But if you're in Poland or you're Polish or you speak Polish or you read Polish, then definitely grab a copy of this. I'm not sure where I can point it out to you online because I think it's on like separate retailers online in Poland, but find this book wherever you are if you read Polish and get this copy because it's so beautiful. I also love that the butterflies are glossy. I'm such a nerd about those things, but it's okay. I know you guys are too. Let's see, a couple new questions came in. A super chat came in. Thank you so much from, I'm going to mispronounce your name. I'm sorry. Guillermo Calderon. How can I increase my book sales? Marketing tips, especially since my native language is not English. Very good question. Like I was just saying before, being your number one biggest fan is an amazing way to increase your book sales. I know it sounds like those two things aren't like directly connected to each other, but they are, trust me, because when you start to think about, okay, what would I say about a book, any book, say it's somebody else's book that I love. I just read this book. I finished it. I loved it. I annotated it. I highlighted every page. I bookmarked so many things, and I just want to share that with somebody. So that energy, that enthusiasm that you would have about somebody else's book, what kind of content would you then create from that? And you can brainstorm this and think about this. And you can also check out, I have a live training about marketing your book. It's actually a 2-part live training that I posted, that I hosted a few months ago. And in that live training, I talked about many different marketing ideas for like social media posts, but building up a social platform, whether it is on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest, any kind of platform where you feel like your readers are hanging out, and you can create content there that is genuinely sharing your enthusiasm for your story, that is step one. And that would be my number one biggest piece of advice for marketing and increasing book sales, because the more you talk about your book with that infectious enthusiasm of the same kind of enthusiasm you'd bring to somebody else's book, you're now in the mosh pit with the other fans, right? You're in the crowd with the other fans. You're not like the omniscient author who's detached and separate from them and, you know, talking down to them like, please go read my book. It's more of a community, you know, it's a conversation you're having with people. So that would be my number one biggest piece of advice. Thank you to author Kathy. Your name is getting cut off, but thank you for the super chat. And I don't think you wrote a comment. There's just a sticker there. Okay. And then a super chat also came in from Richard. Thank you so much. Working on a book that I shelved for 12 years. Your videos have really helped me get my passion for writing back. That is so amazing. Way to go. Good for you. That's awesome that you've returned to this project after 12 years. That takes some serious discipline, and you should be so proud of yourself for doing that. I hope it's going well. Another super chat that came in that I missed earlier, I apologize, to Samantha. Congrats, Abby. It's been so insightful to hear about your behind the scenes of publishing. Might we expect an author vlog soonish? That's a good question. I have not done an author vlog in a long time, but I miss doing those. So I would like to do a new author vlog soon. And maybe the author vlog will even be chronicling the exciting announcement that I'm going to make in just a few minutes. But first, before we get into that exciting announcement, because somebody already asked about it, okay, I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then we're going to get into the announcement. And then I will reveal the giveaway winner as well. Okay, so let's see here. I also feel like I should take some questions from Instagram, because I apologize if some questions have gone by on Instagram without me seeing them. So guys, so glad that you guys have enjoyed this book. Awesome. So feel free to ask questions on Instagram as well. Allison asked, you said you're doing some screenwriting. What advice do you have for fellow screenwriting nerds? Total beginner here. Okay, so what I've been doing with screenwriting has been more adapting stuff I've already written more than screenwriting from scratch. So I'm going to more speak to adapting screenplays rather than writing them from scratch, although the same rules apply of like everything I teach on this channel applies to screenwriting as well. So your character's internal conflict, showing their desire versus their fear right away. Those things all apply to screenwriting as well as novel writing. But for adapting a screenplay, if you're taking like, okay, I'm taking 100 Days of Sunlight, I'm trying to turn it into a screenplay. And what I've had to do so far is kill my darlings so much. It's sad. You think editing is hard? Oh my goodness. Try adapting it into a screenplay, and you'll quickly discover that like editing was a walk in the park compared to what you have to cut out of your book to make it fit into 120 pages of a screenplay. But you also have to figure out how to translate. It's really like a translation process, because you have to take a scene that maybe takes place just in your character's mind, where they're just introspecting on things and worrying and having maybe some internal turmoil, and you have to figure out, okay, how do I show that without having, you know, internal narration? Which in the case of 100 Days of Sunlight, I'm working with some narration. So there may be some voiceover narration. At least that's how the screenplay is so far. But we'll see. Eventually, when it becomes a movie, we'll see what the finished product ends up being like. But for now, it has been helpful to be able to rely on a little bit of narration here and there to lead into things like Weston's flashbacks and how Tessa is feeling in the present moment, because there are some things that I want to absolutely show my viewers. But at the same time, there are instances where I've had to take 3 or 4 or 5 scenes and combine them into one scene and accomplish the same thing that happened over the course of those multiple scenes in just one scene. So it's a whole other skill set, and I have just so much respect for screenwriters, especially screenwriters who can adapt a book like accurately and respectfully and make it feel like it is an accurate representation of how the book felt. That is so difficult. So next time you watch a movie and you're like, "Oh, the book was better," like just take a moment to consider the fact that it's really hard to condense a book into a 2 hour or less film. So yeah, it's been a learning curve for sure. And last question I'll take before the announcement is from Naomi. Asked, why did you choose indie publishing? I love this question because I think a lot of people, at least that I've talked to in the past, assume that if somebody chooses indie publishing, it's because they can't get a traditional publishing deal or because they want to just keep more of the profits for themselves. Now, those may be valid reasons for other authors. For myself, what the reason was is that I wanted full control over the books, over the book itself, inside the pages, and the exterior, the packaging, the book design, when it came out, how it was delivered to my readers. I wanted to be all in on the process, start to finish. And I'm kind of a control freak, yes. I'm an Enneagram 1, so I like to kind of be the one organizing and leading. But that kind of came into play with this book. But I wanted the full control of knowing exactly how it would look, how it would be edited, how it would be presented to the world. And with traditional publishing, you don't always necessarily have that control. So I'm learning more about traditional publishing. I'm definitely not anti-traditional publishing. I am actually a hybrid author at this point because my audiobook for The Other World was traditionally published, and this Polish translation of 100 Days of Sunlight is traditionally published. So I've been able to sort of dabble in both worlds a little bit and see how there are pros and cons to both, absolutely. But for me, it was about having control over how my book was presented to the world was the biggest, most important thing. Okay, so guys, I have no way of knowing who is from the United States and who is not from the United States, but this giveaway for this book is for USA only. So if you are in the US, comment right now in the chat. Tell me what state you're from and why you love writing or why you loved 100 Days of Sunlight. Either one. Either comment is applicable, and I'm going to randomly pick from the list of people who submit their comments to give one of you this copy of 100 Days of Sunlight. I was trying to find my pen there's a specific book signing pen that I really like. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so if you're in the US, comment now and tell me why you love writing or you love 100 Days of Sunlight if you have read this book. If you haven't, that's okay too, because I obviously want to give this book to somebody who's going to enjoy reading it. So comment in the chat, and I am going to pick Kate's here too. Say hi to Kate. I'm going to pick owner. I don't know if I'm going to pick from Instagram or YouTube. This is so difficult. I wish I had multiple copies because I was just realizing that I only have like one copy that is perfect, that doesn't have any defects. Okay, let's see. Just gonna look at these comments real quick. So many amazing writers from all over the world. Oh, awesome. So cool. So cool to see so much love from all over. Okay, I'm just gonna like reach into this comment field, like just reaching into a hat and pull out a name randomly. Okay, I'm gonna scroll. It's gonna be spinning myself around. blindfolded. And the winner is, do a finger drum roll here on the desk. The winner is Blue Jay. Blue Jay here on YouTube. You just commented in the chat, and you said that, let's see, where'd your comment go? Oh no, did I lose it? Did I lose it already? You said, I'm from the US and I love 100 Days of Sunlight because whenever I think of it, I imagine sunlight pouring in my mind. It is so beautiful and magical and feels so real. The story falls off the page. Well, thank you so much, Blue Jay, and congratulations. I'm going to send you this copy of 100 Days of Sunlight. I'm going to sign it right now. So tell me in the chat if what you want it to be personalized to, because I'm going to sign my name and then I'm going to sign like two. I can write Blue Jay if that's what you want, or I can write your name. So comment in the chat and tell me. I'm going to go ahead and sign it right now. Okay, boom. There's my signature. Okay, so what did you say what name you wanted, Blue Jay? I'm trying to find you here in the chat. My name is Julia. Okay, cool. So I'm going to say for Julia, happy reading. And I'm going to send you this book as soon as possible. So I want you to email me with your shipping address. Don't comment it here because safety reasons. I want you to email it to me. My email is author Abby Emmons at gmail.com. I can actually post that in the chat. So author Abby Emmons at gmail.com. You can go ahead and email me your shipping address and I will send you your copy of 100 Days of Sunlight, signed and personalized. Okay, so now, guys, we have led up to the moment that is the big announcement. And I know you guys have been waiting for this moment. You've been guessing accurately that it's a book. Yes, it is. Blue Jay said, thank you so much. How will you know it's me? Just write me an email and write your address in the email and tell me that you were here on the live stream. And I will get this book to you. Okay. I don't know what else to tell you for like a secret code or something, but if you send me the link to your YouTube account, I will recognize you. Okay, so you guys have been waiting for this moment of the big announcement. And I'm very excited because I kind of hinted at this last year in my writing wrap-up video that I posted, which some of you may remember. But if you have guessed that the 100 Days of Sunlight series is not over, then you have guessed accurately. There are more books to come. Yes, books, plural. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to announce this, but it's kind of an unofficial announcement. So I'm not gonna give any title yet because I don't have the title, but you can expect a West Test Book 3 coming at you guys pretty soon. I'm so excited for this, guys. And I have a special opportunity for you guys. So I'm going to post a link in the chat right now. And this is the wait list for the third West Test book. And you can go there now to that link and sign up for the wait list, and you will be the first to know when I am publishing this book or when I'm getting close to releasing it, and you will be the first to be invited to the ARC team if you want to be an advanced reader of this book. So I'm going to give a little hint about what it is. It is not a typical linear, or it is linear, but it's not a typical novel format. What it is actually is an anthology. So it's kind of like an episodic storytelling of the next few years of Weston and Tessa's lives. And this is something that, again, I was just inspired to write some short stories, and the short stories ended up being way longer than your typical short story. Each one is like 15 to 20,000 words. So they're about like 40 to 50 pages for each story, and probably more like 80 pages in a book format. So I realized, I want to make this like a collection. I want it to feel like a mini series where or rather a series, an ongoing series where you can just like watch an episode of your favorite show and it's like a full complete story, but you can kind of just enjoy it in one sitting. And so I want these short stories kind of feel that way. There's 5 of them in total in the anthology. One is a Weston story, so it's more specifically about Weston and a journey that he goes on. One is a Tessa story, so Weston is in it, but it's more about Tessa. One is a romance, and one is an adventure, and one is a mystery. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to reveal too much about what each story is about, but you guys are going to love them. I'm really, really excited. They're all written. And again, if you want to get on the wait list, sign up for the wait list and be the first to hear updates about this book, this anthology. I'm not sure how I'm going to release it yet, but I know that I'm going to release it hopefully soon, within the next 6 to 9 months, hopefully. So I may release them one at a time, the stories, or I may release it as a full book. I haven't decided yet. We are still like in the process of editing. So yeah, go to that link, sign up for the wait list. Yes, I need to post the link on Instagram. How should I go about doing that? Can I leave the Instagram live stream in order to give you guys a link? I can't remember if I can do that. Oh man, that's okay. I don't know if I can do that, but I can type the link. So if you guys give me a minute, I will type the link. Or actually, you know what I'll do? I will direct you guys. You guys on Instagram, what you should do is go to my bio after this live stream ends, or you can do it right now. Go to my bio and go to the YouTube link in my bio, and then you will see the link either in the YouTube description or in the chat. Okay, so I will put it in my Instagram bio real quick so that you guys can get access to it on Instagram. And I didn't think to do that before, I'm sorry. But I was just so excited and overwhelmed about this whole thing that I was just like rushing to get things ready. But I will go ahead and add that link to my Instagram. Okay, the link is on Instagram. So now if you go to my bio on Instagram, you will see the link there. Okay, so I know I said the word books, and I probably shouldn't even be like revealing this much, but yes, this series is an ongoing series, and there's a book 3 that is coming. It's an anthology. It's super cute. But I reached a point at the anthology. I had 5 stories, and I had a 6th story in mind. And the 6th story centers around a big decision moment in Weston and Tessa's romantic life. You can guess what that decision might be. And I realized that I had way more ideas for that story than to just make it a short story. So I decided to make it a whole book. Yeah, so there's that. There's a book 4 as well, and I am currently brainstorming a book 5. I know, it's crazy, but there's going to be at least 5 books in this series because I cannot stop brainstorming and loving these characters. I don't know if I'll ever be able to say goodbye to them for real, but yes, you are getting a book 3, a book 4, and eventually a book 5. I can't believe I just revealed all that. I probably shouldn't have revealed all that, like, just like that. But I'm too excited to keep it to myself. so so I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are too. And if you want to get on the wait list, get that link. It was in the chat a minute ago, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to post it again. I'm just going to keep spamming the chat with this link because I want you guys to sign up and join the wait list. And I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Everyone's saying, I hope the cover is blue. Yeah, I think blue would be a really, really pretty cover. But I don't even know what the book's going to be called yet. It's crazy. Okay, but you know, it's all good. So that's my exciting news, that there's a new book coming, and I don't know when it is coming, but oh, it's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited. So excited. So everyone wants it to be blue. I will keep that in mind as I'm designing the cover. And I will probably be designing the cover myself. And I will probably be designing, or rather reading, the audiobook. Because I feel like it would just be a little bit, I don't know, strange to not read the audiobook once I've read these other audiobooks. And yeah. So I'm very excited. I feel like I've said that 50,000 times today. But thank you guys so much for being here for this live stream party. If you want, I'm going to wrap up by sharing with you that song that I wrote that's kind of inspired by 100 Days of Sunlight. It's been a long time since I played the ukulele for you guys. One of my first videos, and one of my favorite videos on my channel, is my first ukulele cover. So yeah, let's just have some chill out ukulele time to wrap up this live stream. I have to apologize though in advance for probably how off key I'm going to be, because it has been a long time since I sang for anyone. But I'm gonna channel my inner Weston and go for it. So this song is called I'll Be Your Sunlight, I think is what I decided the name would be. It doesn't have a second verse, but it does have a bridge. Your sun went down behind a cloud of despair, and I found you there. Heard your cry and I thought it was mine, 'cause it sounded so familiar. I don't know what you're going through, but I know about pain, and I know it ain't true when you say that you're broken and not worth fixing. I know life looks dark to you, but I'll be your sunlight when nothing has gone right. When the clouds come fill your sky with a dark and endless night, I'll let you fight life. When it knocks you down low, I'll help you get back up and find the strength to fight. I'll help you see there always comes an end to night. I'll be your light. Oh, oh, I never know what you can do if you're too scared to try. Even birds have to fall down before they find their wings to fly. I know it hurts you and it burns your hands to slide down this road, but you'll never know what you can do until you learn to let go. I'll be your sunlight when nothing has gone right. The clouds come fill your sky with a dark and endless night. I'll I'll help you fight life when it knocks you down, love. I'll help you get back up and find strength to fight. I'll help you see there always comes an end to night. I'll be your light. That's it. Okay, it was a little bit rusty, I know, because I haven't played it in so long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that little improv performance of my unpublished song, I'll Be Your Sunlight. Maybe I will record it and publish it someday. I feel like it kind of embodies the vibe of 100 Days of Sunlight well, and I would like to mix it and record it. Oh, somebody said, I'm imagining this playing during the credits of the movie. Oh my goodness. That would be amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's my new dream. That you just added to the dream. That's the cherry on top of the movie happening. So maybe in a year or two, we will have another live stream announcement where we will be celebrating the 100 Days of Sunlight movie coming out. I hope so. Let's all visualize it. If we can all like hold it in our minds, we can call it into being with the law of attraction. So let's do that. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here for this live stream, for hanging out with me and celebrating the 5th birthday of 100 Days of Sunlight. I hope you enjoyed this live stream party. I know I certainly enjoyed it. And thank you all so much for the super chats that you sent and all the love and support for this book. It has literally changed my life. And I am so thrilled to have all of you here in the community loving this book. So make sure you sign up for the wait list. It's in my Instagram bio, and it's also going to be underneath the description of this video once it's finished, the live stream. So make sure you're signed up to the wait list to get updates on book 3 and eventually book 4 and eventually book 5, which isn't even written. So exciting. Okay, I am going to wrap things up now, but thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for being here in the community on my channel, and I love you so much. And until next time, rock on. I don't know how to end the live stream on Instagram.